Good afternoon, everyone. Afternoon. Hope everyone is doing extremely well. Welcome to our afternoon session. My name is Sepo Maletsane. Hope you are enjoying your lunch. I was just in a session now, a ClickFunnels session for ClickFunnels 2.0, and yeah, man, great insight. There's so much work to do, guys, and so much to really get our, how do I say it, to really get our hands on. Okay. Just a quick one. I don't want to waste time. This is gonna take us roughly 30 minutes or 25 minutes. I found out that afternoons are much shorter than mornings. Maybe it's the energy levels. Okay. Quick disclaimer: the information contained in this presentation and the resources available for download through JuProp Group and its affiliated sites, inclusive of social media platform, is not intended as and shall not be understood or construed as financial advice. I'm not an accountant or a financial advisor, nor am I holding myself out to be, and the information contained herein is not a substitute for financial advice from a professional who's aware of the facts and circumstances of your individual situation. Okay? We have done our best to ensure that the information provided and shared, the resources available for download are accurate and provide valuable information. Regardless of anything to the contrary, nothing available on or through this webinar should be understood as a recommendation that you should not consult with a financial professional to address your particular information. The company expressly recommends that you seek advice from a professional. All right. Who's JuProp and why we here? Our goal is to enable credit active consumers with credit education tools and insights to improve their credit score. And we seek to empower our clients with transitioning from tenants to homeowners by leveraging their credit. The entire campaign that we are running and the entire business is really ideal for all credit active consumers. So if you already are a homeowner, do not be dismayed. There is some information that can benefit you definitely in this presentation. We deal with credit active consumers. Okay. In the country right now, the country being South Africa, there are 26 million credit active consumers, just over 26 million. That's based on the Credit Monitor report from June 2022, released by a national credit regulator. And of that, about 9.8 million have impaired records. And impaired records, guys, is when your account is in arrears for a period that is 3 months or more. Of all these guys, we only have about less than 750. In fact, 741 and 37,000 credit reports that have been issued as a request at the request of credit active consumers. This is really a serious concern. And our goal as a business is to get us to a point where that number is actually doubled. We want to contribute at least 1 million credit reports through information sessions. So please go ahead and pull the reports. Please go ahead and pull your own credit report. Okay, our session is going to be covered into 3: understanding credit, get your credit report, and the JuProp group offer. So we've got 3 offers. I like dealing with the offer in front, So we've got 3 offers currently. We've got our bronze offer, which is 999. It's a DIY offer. And we've got a 6 months offer and an annual package offer. In September we had monthly offers, but the monthly offers have been done away with, precisely because credit management and credit repair is a process, guys. It's really a process. And we think in 3 months you'll get sufficient information even if you opt for DIY where you have access to the business and the specialists that we have available to assist you and to help you to move forward and improve your score. Okay. All right. This is the most important slide, I always say, and the goal that as a credit active consumer that you all ought to have is to move to the extreme right, which is to move in the at least the 700, 800s and beyond, score. You want to be on that side, and the reason being, once you're on the um, above, on the good side and the excellent side in terms of the score, what that does is that you negotiate better, you become really available asset in terms of the books of the bank. That there's least, well, I wouldn't say there's least chance of impairment, but it shows that you have demonstrated an ability to manage your money well. That's what it is. You have established trust with your own money, and that means you can be trusted with other people's money. Okay, and you can be trusted with honoring your payments if you want to borrow from yourself in the future. Whereas if you're on the extreme left, what that means is that the first risk that you open yourself up to is the risk of not being approved for loans, of being approved to access of money, and hence it limits the scope of leverage. So you're already operating from a poor leveraging position. And this is not necessarily about affordability, guys. I always say there are people that can afford but have poor scores, and the virtue of having a poor score means some of the things you can't get approved for. So that's why it's really a dual relationship between affordability and having a good credit score. Okay. Credit is the ability to borrow money. What is credit? Is the ability to borrow money or access goods or services with the understanding that you'll pay later. I would say, and that's from experience, I would say in simple terms, it is the ability to borrow from your future self. That's what credit is. It's how you have demonstrated, and you gain it by demonstrating that you can be trusted with money. And we've got in the country National Credit Regulator, and insofar as the legislation, we've got the National Credit Act 34 of 2005. I'm not gonna go through all these guys, just to select a few. You can screen grab. Please be happy to screen grab. To promote a fair and a non-discriminatory marketplace for access to consumer credit, and for that purpose to provide for general regulation of consumer credit, to improve standards of consumer information, to promote black economic empowerment and ownership within the consumer industry, to prohibit certain unfair credit and credit marketing practices, to promote responsible credit granting and use for that purpose to prohibit reckless credit granting, to provide for debt reorganization in cases of over indebtedness, and to regulate credit information. Okay, who's the credit provider? Credit provider in respect of credit agreement to which this act applies will mean the following: the party who supplies goods or services under a discount transaction, incidental credit agreement or installment agreement, the party who advances money or credit under a pawn transaction, the party who extends credit under a credit facility, the mortgagee under a mortgage agreement, the lender under a secured loan, the lessor under a lease, the party to whom an assurance or promise is made under a credit guarantee, the party who advances money or credit to another under a credit agreement, or any other person who acquires the rights of a credit provider under a credit agreement after it has been entered into. I always reference and I say, always keep in mind that debt is sold. There are debt books that are sold. There's a debt book market, and what happens is that third parties will be buying this debt, and obviously you follow the simple economic principle of buy low, sell high, or sell with interest. So at times some of these things have prescribed, and remember, in the context of South African legislation, the credit providers can still be chasing you, and once you admit that you owe them and so forth, they can still claim that money. Okay, in my language they say skoloto gasiboli. So the sooner you take practical steps in getting these things off your credit report, the better it is. Okay. Information in your credit report would include the number of credit card, your personal information, the borrowing limits that you might have, the outstanding balances, the amount of loans that you might have taken out, and how you are paying, your credit history, your credit age, your monthly payments. Are you defaulting on your payments? Are you not defaulting on payments? Are you making your payments on time? Most severe financial setbacks, such as foreclosures, car repossession, bankruptcies, judgment notices, all these other things will also be reflected on your credit report. You've got more than four types of credit, but for the purpose of this course, there's four. There's revolving credit, service credit, installment credit, and charge cards. And I always say when it relates to charge cards, be on the lookout for loyalty programs with store account functions linked inside them. And don't just be activating things without first understanding what's there. And I would say with things like particularly a revolving credit, it's important, guys, that you know what is your insurance on your credit card or on your credit or revolving credit. What type of insurance do you have? Under which conditions will that work? And when buying things like on particularly when it relates to installment credits, one of the things that I really want you to take into consideration, always make sure that you keep a file of all your credit agreements somewhere safe, so that should anything happen, you know exactly what is it that you qualify for and you don't qualify for. You know exactly what you signed up for. Okay. How do you reach your credit report? The creditors use the 3-digit number. We referenced it in the beginning, and that is the credit score. And it's used in deciding whether to issue credit or not. Like I said, when you have a poor score, it's expensive. When you have a poor and a very poor, it becomes expensive, and the likelihood of being approved gets reduced. Okay, it's a number of factors. Affordability is a factor, but in my view, credit is one of the most important factors to get you approved. Okay. Get your credit report. How do you get your credit report? You get your credit report through, in the country, you've got 14 credit bureaus, registered licensed credit bureaus, collecting what one can consider confidential information, and they get given this information by credit providers, the same credit providers that you will have arrangements with. So in the context of the country now, less than 5% of South African credit market are using legislation which entitles them to obtain their annual free credit report. You get one for free annually. Not many of the credit providers are leveraging that opportunity and getting those free reports. Okay. Why is it important to know what's reflected on your credit report? Number one, it's important because once you know, you can apply for things with confidence. The second part of that is that you will also know when to apply, and the frequency of your applications in terms of loans. When do you ought to do it? Don't be applying for loans. One of the most dangerous things about your loans is these payday loans, guys. Avoid payday loans. If needs be, avoid payday loans. Whatever it takes, avoid payday loans. This is one of those things that if anything, I would say, what is it that you ought to be avoiding? Avoid payday loans. Come month end or come payday, you are always with micro lenders and or at the bank trying to get a loan and so forth. It doesn't work. The first starting point is find what's on your credit report. Start working on that, and I can guarantee you, the moment you start working on that, you know, when they say numbers don't lie, they start communicating for you. That your numbers will start speaking for you. And yeah, man, that's what I wanted to say to you. Okay. One of the things about um, the importance of having a credit report as well is I was reporting about I think in one of the webinars 2 weeks ago, I mentioned the case of about 553 fraudulent marriages that the Home Affairs have just reversed. So one of the things about things like that, things like these fraudulent marriages that get reversed, is that you could, if you end up being married to someone, and you can end up inheriting someone's debt, all because of your personal information was used for loans and all these things. And I would say, just look at the reality of um, what has happened with mobile phones. And you now have this thing of people buying mobile phones. you know I mean, snatching mobile phones. um, and that's because the value of these phones have now become such um, a commodity. So be careful, guys, be very careful. Okay. 6 quick ways to improve your credit score. Get your credit report. I cannot emphasize how important this is. Report errors on your credit profile. Pay your bills on time. Reduce your debt ratio. Pay off your outstanding debts and settle and close accounts. Okay. If you've made it up to here, thank you very much, guys. We've got 3 offers, as I said in the beginning. We've got the bronze and the silver, and the gold package. Our package are as follows: the bronze package, DIY package, which is a limited package as well. Is 999, and the 6 months one is 1850. It's a discounted one. And the annual package is 3,350. We currently are running a special on the 3 months package at 850. Okay. So we currently have that. And what is it that you get over 40 online sessions over a 12-month period. You will cover things like, I mean, this is one of the sessions that we cover, but there we cover it in much detail. So we've got a premium version of precisely what we've gone through. Get to know your credit report. We cover things like consumer rights. We will cover how to claim from credit insurance. You cover how to leverage your monthly utility bills, how to leverage your tenant profile for credit score improvement. You also cover things like FLISP, which is the Finance Linked Individual Subsidy Program. We cover insurance replacements. One of the things that we have found is most people end up with the same, particularly with Africans. We ending up with these insurance products, and some of them you won't find any other race except our people buying in them. And you need to begin to question, why is that the case? Why are you putting so much money investing in debt and not life covers and all these things? Look, we're not financial advisors, but we can definitely share information in terms of what has been other people's experience, and then you can go ahead and consult professionals. Okay, I just had to say that way. And yeah, so you get practical self tools, formulas, exercises. You get discounts on our partners' products that might be helpful to you. We also have expert guests, and definitely we have customized packages as well. Thank you very much. Like I said, man, these are our contact details. I actually need to follow up with the IT guys and see how far they've gone. But today I'm looking at ClickFunnels, and this might be something that we integrate as well, something that might be helpful for the business. Okay, so thank you very much. Hope this information has been informative. and definitely will assist you. Has been very, very helpful. And please have a great afternoon, and enjoy your afternoon. Thanks. Bye. Cheers.